headline, of course, England have beaten Germany. They're into the quarterfinals of Euro 2020. It is a rather marvellous occasion, a night that I don't think any England fan is ever going to forget. Stuart Pearce, who played for his country 78 times, was on the pitch when Germany beat England on penalties all the way back Euro 96 in the semi-final. He was also in comms last night, and he joins us now. Good morning, Stuart.
Morning, Pearce.
Morning. Morning, everyone. Thanks for the message yesterday, Ali. You're a humble man.
Oh.
No problem, mate. I was thinking about you. You're one of the first that came to mind when I watched that game, mate, and I was genuinely pleased for you, pal. And I thought the game itself couldn't have gone any better for you boys.
No, I think you're right. When momentum went against the team, I think they wrestled it back. We were, patient in what we'd done. We always had an athletic edge over them, and I think every time the likes of Sterling got the ball or Saka got the ball and run at them, it caused them a big problem. And, Gareth must be really pleased with the contribution of everybody, I think.
You know him, obviously, Stuart. How much will that win mean to him last night?
He'll put it in perspective, if I'm being quite honest with you, Laura. He'll be really excited and really pleased with it yesterday. As soon as today comes, it'll be a cool head again and a focus going forward. His end game is to win this trophy, you know what I mean? And listen, if we go out in the next round, the disappointment would be there for all to see. If you're going to go out in the next round, go out by being outplayed, not having your eye on the ball and thinking you're there already. But great performance yesterday, but reassess and re-aim at what we've got coming up, because it will come round very, very quickly.
A question really about Harry Kane, because you said in commentary that you'd eat humble pie if he scores in the next few minutes, and then he did.
Yeah, well, I'm delighted he did. I didn't think he was playing particularly well. I would have probably taken him off, if I'm being honest with you, and put someone on that. I think the German players struggled against the likes of Sterling and Saka, players that were turning and running at them more than Harry. I think they were quite enjoying the interaction with Harry and playing against him, to be fair. Probably the substitute for me potentially would have been, Grealish on and maybe Harry off, or even go to a 4. But listen, we all make judgment calls in our head. That's the beauty of the game, and I'm delighted for Harry getting that goal. He's a wonderful professional, and hopefully that will boost sort of his confidence and going forward.
Pearce, an area of the pitch you know well, and clearly that we talk about Grealish, we talk about Harry, we talk about Sterling. That's absolutely natural. But you sitting there with your defensive, hat on, you've got to have been impressed, mate. I know you're going to. Clearly, all teams will have to ride their luck a little bit. Germany had a couple of chances last night, but to not lose a goal after 4 games in the tournament, the goalkeeper has looked steady and really solid, and defensively they've looked, pretty solid.
I totally agree. This is the most pleasing thing for me. There's no doubt about that, Ali. The fact that we can score goals was never in doubt going into the tournament. My big concern, can we keep the ball out of our goal? And we're demonstrating we can. I thought the goalkeeper was very good yesterday. I think Cole Walker's been excellent, by the way.
Yeah.
He got an odd mistake in him now and then, lapse of concentration. I've not seen that in this tournament. I think he's been really good. The other 2 boys alongside him, really sound performances. And as I say, Stones has come up for air again this season, and he's been a major plus. And Gareth sticking by Harry as well when he was injured, and 1 or 2 said, should we take injured players? And he backed Harry Maguire, and he looks fantastic.
Stuart, you was obviously there for Euro 96 and the whole atmosphere that went with that. How did last night compare to that?
To be honest with you, Andros, it was slightly better because the result was a touch better, to be honest with you. The atmosphere on the wave of 96 was fantastic, but we're only halfway there on this journey, I feel, with these players, you know what I mean? I think we've still got 3 games to go and a potential trophy lift, or at least a tilt at it. I don't want to get ahead of myself because I moan when other people do, so...
Yeah.
I think there's still more to come. There's still a couple of big days at Wembley with the atmosphere, and then I think we'll look back on this tournament and say, let's stop talking about 96. You know, this group of players have been outstanding.
Couple from me, Stuart. First of all, I was listening to you last night, and I enjoyed the war of the commentators. So the German commentators a few rows in front of you, you're comparing, weren't you, what they had and what you had. And I like the way that they mentioned that actually no one can beat the sort of culture that you bring to a commentary team and your musical knowledge. It's not just football, is it?
No, we spread wider than that, you know what I mean? Actual football knowledge is non-existent, but musical knowledge and rugby league knowledge, we're okay on. Don't worry about that. All the things we're not supposed to be good on, we've nailed it. But
we've got it covered, Paul.
We've got it covered. When I was under 21 coach, we went over to Frankfurt, I think it was, the German headquarters there as a fact-finding mission. And to be fair, I was doing the same last night on the radio, just looking over and seeing what they've got on their desk and what bits and pieces they've got. But what they didn't have yesterday was a 2-0 win.
100%. Stuart, I know obviously, you know, we're all sort of armchair managers, aren't we? And there was a lot of that going around yesterday when the team came out. I'm going to ask you to do it. England against Ukraine. Would you make changes for that one? Where would they be if you did?
I've always been a big fan of sort of running. If the team have done well for you, keep the same team type, you know. So, you know, he's made a big judgment calls on his way, Gareth. He works with the squad weekly, you know. He'll know whether he wants a formation change as well. So there's going to be a scenario whether he flattens out to a back four. If he does, then, you know, potentially Trippier might be the one that loses his place. I don't know. But listen, Gareth, when Gareth works with him, he'll get a feel of what they are. And more importantly, what are Ukraine's strengths and weaknesses, you know, and he'll work accordingly. The one thing he has done, Laura, his judgment calls have been fantastic these 4 games. You know, everyone's got an opinion of who should and who shouldn't. And before this tournament, and I mentioned it yesterday, there was a big clamour to put Sterling on the touchline, you know. But I'll tell you what, he's stuck with Sterling. He's been our best player for these 4 games. He's been magnificent, the kid.
Stuart, if Gareth chooses to match up Ukraine's back 4, and you spoke about maybe Kieran Trippier dropping out, who would you play in that number 10, Mount, Grealish or Foden?
I think I'd probably err on Grealish, if I'm being quite honest with you. I think he's got some match action under his belt now. The beauty of it is, Andros, as you said, the options. You've named 3 players.
Yeah.
Whichever way you throw the balls in the air and they land, you think, OK, I'll run with that. That's good enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's when you look behind you as a manager and you think, my good God, there's no one there to help me, you know? Luckily enough, Gareth's got a clutch of players that will help him out.
Is that like when I was on your bench for the under-21s?
I didn't even turn round. So honestly, I did. We'll call you, I think I said. Hey, you've done all right for me, mate. Don't worry about that.
Stuart, we are very much looking forward to hearing you back in commentary at 8 o'clock this Saturday, England against Ukraine. Great to hear from you. Good luck for that match.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, Stuart.
Have a good day.
You too.